long story short, still super bullish on PayPal. Got great expectations for them in 2025 and throughout 2026 as well. I'm not sure I'll be holding super long term on this one, as initially this was a return to the kind of median play on me. It got way too undervalued, but I'm very excited to see how the ads business rolls out on this one. You can check out my full thesis on my website, thecraftytrader.com. Other than that, in this video we'll talk about the daily and weekly price action. We look at that to figure out where to trim and where to add, basically within our risk tolerances. As well as that, we'll take a look at the open options interest. We'll see what the big boys are doing in the market makers. We'll take a look at some PayPal news, and my live portfolio is linked below in the link to eToro, and it's also on the screen there for you. Okay, I'm going to have to blast through this one quite quick. I've got an appointment at the funeral home and I mismanaged my timings, so just going to jump straight in. The chart for PayPal, got to be honest, doesn't look great. It's a pretty good back test here. We got back testing the gap fill line. Now, I normally would expect to see a bounce here on the volume shelf as well, but PayPal's really not in favor right now. It didn't pump back up with a lot of the financials yesterday, which makes me think there's going to be a little bit more downside. Am I going to buy more? Probably will if we get back down to the 67 area. But, I've been in PayPal for a long time. It's not really done what I want it to. I'm still confident it will recover the timings. It's just not turning around as much as I would like. Now, there was an investor day. It was pretty exciting. There was lots of good stuff in there, but it didn't really hype up the stock. So the stock's still really out of favor with poor sentiment, super hated. But I think it's going to do well over the long term. So I'm happy to hold what I've got. I still think fair value is over $100. So it's really not respecting its fair value. It's just out of favor. But to support to the downside, obviously we just talked about the gap fill here on the edge of this red line, the volume shelf at kind of 73.77. Below that, we have the start of the prior gap, kind of $67. I would actually be super interested in adding quite aggressively at that level, just because the basing pattern here was so strong and long. RSI is a little bit overheated. Death cross is well and truly in action. Institutions really aren't interested in this one. They're probably more interested in looking at SoFi and stuff like that. Fund oscillator doesn't look great. Resistance to the upside is going to be, again, where it's hesitated before. So $75 was a key area for resistance and support previously. And then kind of $80, the same kind of situation. Then $82. Then we've got the bull market band, which is bearish right now. That's getting quite chunky as well, so we need to see that thin out really so we can break above it. So for right now, the chart looks really weak, but we do have this nice gap here up to 86, so I don't see it having a problem getting back there and then getting to at least 95. We've got so much measured move. I forgot the word. Conflation? That's not the word. Where confluence, that's the one. It's got so much confluence where it's going to be. So I'd like to see it get back there. But for now, really in the gutter, I think it's going to need a few quarters. Basically, the investor day, a lot of good stuff has come, but it's going to take time. And a lot of people can't be bothered to give it any more time because it's had quite a lot. So let's have a quick look at the weekly. Pretty much, I guess, PayPal is just going to be a bit of a steady Eddie company. It's not the quick fix that a lot of people wanted, myself included. So I did put on there big ass cup and handle. That would be nice if that action. Obviously, this handle now is getting quite deep and severe, but the big ass cup and handle would be a really high target. Let me put it on. I don't know if it's on here. Can't tell. Just ballpark, so you've got an idea. Would be about $100 and kind of $40. So way over where I would have my fair value put for this one. What else is interesting on here? Kind of RSI is kind of neutral. Death cross hasn't happened on here yet, but if the price keeps going down, it will. We did get a lot of overbought signals, and generally price rolls over after that. And Black Cat Fund Oscillator is not looking great as well. So overall, the chart's not looking very exciting. But over the long term, I think for a long-term hold, this is still pretty good. It's just not going to be the fastest trade that I thought it was going to be. I think I've been in there a year or two now. Okay, so straight into the options market on this one. We've got quite a tight range actually, $10 range, bang on the money, which doesn't happen too often. Um, but there's a lot of action, interest in seeing a little bit of pop in PayPal's price here, which doesn't surprise me since it's had quite a large downside move. So resistance there is sitting at 80. Don't really see it having a problem getting there. Probably not within the rest of this week though. And downside support is 70, so I'm pretty confident we will get the bounce there as well. And it's gone laggy. Oh, sometimes this app drives me mad. Pushing out a week though. Again, price really just chopping around in that range. Just not a lot of confidence, but kind of people happy to take the gamble with the chop. Again, a week out, same situation. Let's push it out to the end of the year. If it stops being a laggy piece of crap. January 2026. Let's take a look. So this looks a little bit more promising. Getting a little bit more bullish interest. 95 is going to be the kind of sticking area. Again, it's where we stuck before, so it makes sense why people are picking that out. Let's go January 2027. A lot more bullish. So again, it looks like people are really pricing in a bit more runway for PayPal, not expecting a super quick turnaround, which is annoying. I do get the sense that they're kind of sandbagging a little bit. But we'll see over the next few quarters what's really happening with that. See if they lift guidance, we know that they've sandbagged quite aggressively. Then again, just tipping along. Okay, so I did say this was going to have to be a super quick video, so I can't talk too much about the investor day. So I just put up kind of the first slide they had on there. Basically, they're putting everything instead of having all these individual silos, they're building it all into the same unified system. So we know this is going to increase the innovation pace, which is something that's been very lacking from them, and it's going to reduce operating expenses. But I'll do a more detailed post probably next week, or might even put something on the website about the full investor day, so we can talk about that. Other than that, Cash App's user base is stagnating. If Influential put that on, love that. That's good for PayPal. But yeah, basically don't have time to say anything else, so I'll get back to you. I did want to mention though, the miners look really good today. Mara had their earnings; they did really well. The NAV premium there looks so good. I think you get like 0.92, or I think it was higher actually. Bitcoin for every dollar you spend on Mara, so that's insane. That's going to have a nice pop. Now, I do want to point out that miners will normally recover prior to Bitcoin recovering, and if today's prices hold, that's going to be a very good sign for Bitcoin to have found its bottom. I don't know if that's true. Kind of hope it's not. I would like to see it scoot a little bit lower, ready for my deposit on the 1st, which is 2 days away. Didn't realise it was such a short month this month. So that's exciting, and I'll see you later. That's a wrap. If you like this content, give it a like, share with your mum, your nan, your dad, your gran, whoever, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.